I will swap this together.
All right, I'm going to move to go into executive session pursuant to MRSA Title 14056A for exempt employee evaluation, contract discussion, county administrator, Michael Crooker.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We're now in executive session. We're coming out of executive session with nothing to report. Gentlemen, any other business?
Real quick, I missed it with the, as you know, County Commissioner Wambacher can't be here for the 19th, which does involve our budget stuff, but that's why it's important. I need to know kind of now if we had to try to schedule everybody around. Are you okay, the two of you meeting?
July 19th?
No, August 19th.
August 19th, August 19th.
And it's,
Sam, did you know that August 19th, John cannot be here, it'll be just you and I?
Oh,
in the-
okay. Well,
And Michael's question is that are you and I okay trying to take care of business on the 19th without three of us being here?
I think we could.
I think just like all secondary, we'll try to keep that agenda to a minimum,
yeah, I mean, the rest of it.
keep the controversial stuff off of it. You know,
It's primarily, a lot of it will just be the budget stuff, which is only a few departments anyway, but
when you say budget stuff, no, it's them presenting.
just their presentation, so it won't be the final vote or anything like that. That's the following week, which I think you'll be back.
It'll be interesting to see what's scheduled that top week for budget. I know you already have it all planned.
Yeah, it is planned out, but that's part of the challenge, because if we don't meet, then,
Well, I just meant like, if you could put some of the stuff that are kind of, I hate to say it, it's not gonna be contentious, like, don't put the sheriff's department on that day. It's just like,
that might be it. The only challenge behind that is obviously,
Interesting, because August 19th,
Yeah, I think-
consultant's gonna be done and ready for review.
I don't have it right in front of me, unfortunately.
We will. Michael, the process for the budget though is that individual department heads are gonna come to us, present their proposal.
Yes.
We're just going to acknowledge what they want, make no decisions about that at that point. Then at some point, we meet and discuss and decide what we're going to send BEC, correct?
So since I've been here, that's basically what you've done. You've had the meetings, but if there were items that you really wanted to see, additional information or stuff like that, then you would let them know if they were fine. If you guys as a majority were fine, then you just noted that, and then when you got to the final meeting or two, you would go back and revisit those requirements and stuff that you had issues or potential issues.
I feel like we revisited, but at that meeting, it's not too unusual for us to be like, what do you think about this number? And I still think that happens a little bit where,
Which means the one.
the very first one, like sometimes there's like, yeah.
Well, I want to tell you that unlike previous years, I'm changing my philosophy on how we're going to do this, my personal philosophy. And that is that instead of sending BAC something and then when they come back, we're really scrutinizing it and doing cuts if we're going to, I'm going to do it the other way around. I'm going to try to decide what I would like to see that budget look like before it goes to the BAC. So at some point between talking to the department heads and that meeting that we have preparing the proposed budget to the BAC, that's where we're going to make some, I'm going to make some very hard and drastic suggestions on what to do with the budget. So,
Well, I think that's good. Because it doesn't work to hope that the BAC is gonna make cuts, because they don't ever, we're gonna
that's
check
been
the
happening in
cuts.
the last 2 years.
So I would say if we're gonna, we should have it closer to what we really would like to end up at before we send it to them. this time,
All right.
'cause they can do anything.
So on the 19th, that we're just going to have a bare bones agenda.
I would assume, and then we have scheduled those ones that we have scheduled on the list so far, which had been approved by the department heads and all that. Some of them, like
You remember who they were? We have less controversial developments.
Well, I think towards the end, it was like the DA and the sheriffs and stuff like that, so, but the problem is like even the DAs, the earliest, either one of them, the two primary people that could present it, they weren't gonna be available for the July meeting, and they weren't gonna be available for the August meeting, so the earliest they were available was the second meeting, which essentially would be this meeting that we're talking about right now, the 19th, and the same thing with the other
The second meeting
departments.
in August.
Yeah. So if we pushed it back another week, all those, then that pushes us another week. You'd have to have another meeting the next week. And then that pushes us into the trouble we run into, is that we can't have the department budget, we can't have the benefits and salary and all those final ones done for those three departments. So I'm limited as to how
That's fine.
far we can push it unless we
That
can
happens on the 19th, it's fine.
if we met a week earlier or something like that, but you would have another shot the following week, I believe, part of the schedule to finalize everything else. But unfortunately, yeah, it's just the timing.
Yep.
The only way around that is to move it up and have like two meetings, probably a week apart if you wanted to do that, I guess, but
Where's your kid go to school?
well, mine doesn't go anywhere now, so I
I
don't.
thought you had somebody.
Well, yeah, but she's going to, she's just going to Bangor up there.
It's easy.
So, yeah, I don't have to take her anywhere, thank God. Yeah, I don't have to take her anywhere. And that's the difficulty. I mean, if it wasn't the fact, obviously, you're gonna be out of state and all those factors. I would just say, maybe we.
This is literally the day that they move into the dorm, so like, it's the
Yeah,
day
there's no
where I
way.
could, like, I gotta go to a meeting for a few hours and talk about the sheriff's department. Yeah.
So, I can try to work for those people that present. See if they can, but I would need
That's
an
fine.
alternative date, or you'd have to maybe, well, again, I still know at least the DA's office would have to be on the 19th regardless, but.
You might want to tell the sheriff and the DA that their presentation is going to be before just two of us instead of three, and so if they're at the mercy of two, so.
If they are willing, if I'm able, I'm just gonna ask you, but if I'm able to get those department heads, some of the ones that presented that day to present earlier, are you agreeable to having longer meetings, I guess, for maybe that first meeting in August or whatever, to try to compensate for that?
Yeah, I'm off all days.
All right, well, let me see what I can do with the schedule. I'll see what I can do with the schedule, and if we update it, I'll send that back out to you.
That's good.
Anything else?
Sam's got his hand up. Literally.
I'm holding my head up.
All right, I'm gonna move to adjourn.
Discussion, hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, we're adjourned.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Good luck to you.
Yeah, I think I'm